We are live. I apologize. So we're switching to Fridays now. And we were supposed to start at 8 a.m., but I have an escape artist and she escaped on me this morning, my dog. I had to go look for her. Anyways, let's get our practice started. I hope you can see me. You're going to need for this class, I hope that lighting isn't too bad, but you're going to need not only a bolster, but also maybe that looks better. Maybe that looks better. I don't know why it looked like I'm going like this, but you're gonna need a bolster. Oh, my cat's fighting in the background too. And you're gonna need a bolster. You're gonna need a blanket, and we are going to start in a very gentle. This is, I guess we could call it a. What do we call this class? Well, I guess we're going to go back to a gentle practice for anyone on their period, because we are not doing anything standing up. We're doing something very restorative. I'll rename this class actually. So, wait, that's not helping. No. Okay. It's not playtime right now. Okay, so I'm just folding my blanket. If you happen to have a yoga blanket, no, not right now. I just want you to fold it in threes. My dog lets me. If my dog lets me here. Gosh, this lighting is really bugging me. Okay, so just that I hope you can kind of see it. Ooh. Maybe there, it'll look sort of better. If you have a bolster, bring it right in front of you. If you don't, that's totally fine as well. You can also do it. You could also do it with a, what's it called? You may also do the, this is my practice. You may also do it with a pillow. Maybe there it'll look. I'm trying, guys. Okay, here it goes. You can come into a kneeling position. So here we go. We're starting our practice. Kneeling position. This is why these are live classes. No editing on this. You're going to bring your toes together. You're going to drop your sit bones onto your heels. And then you're going to bring your bolster right in between your legs. And then here you're going to, first what I want you to do is bring your hands down in between the bolster. And I want you to really lengthen here as you come down. So you might even have to open the legs a little bit more, bring it closer. But as you're going down, don't just do this. Like really lengthen as you're coming down, and then you're going to rest. Now, when you do come down, you're going to come down onto your temple, not onto the side of your face, because we are face yogis. We don't want to create more wrinkles. So we want to be intentional with where we're placing our face when we come into child's pose. Normally, when we do child's pose, it's forehead. But here we're on the side, and then switch sides here. So just to give it some balance, we won't be here too long, but just to start the practice, letting our body know, hey, We're slowing down. We're so used to a fast pace. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out. Keep breathing. Bring your hands down right in between your bolster where we were first placed. Press away. Come all the way up. We're still going to do something with the bolster here. And what you're going to do is you're going to come onto the side of your hip. And you are going to, so here you are. Bring the right hip to the bolster right at the end. Knees are right in front of you. Stack the feet. Bring your hands over your head. Exhale. Torso is going to twist. You're going to feel the right ribs twist here as well towards the right side. And then you're going to lengthen as you come down. You might even hear some cracking the lower back. This is really good. The nice little supine twist. Now, again, resting on the side of our temple, not on the side of our cheek. And here you just relax your shoulders. Make sure that the belly button is facing or resting onto the bolster. Now, what you can do is you could actually, with your right hand, is come back, lift, and like move the flesh where it's resting onto the bolster. And here you're just going to rest. Again, it might feel uncomfortable if you're not used to doing any twist here. But this is a practice more dedicated when you're on your last days of your cycle, not in the beginning. Breathing in and out. Bring the hands down. In between, press away. Come all the way up. And all you're going to do with turning, all you're going to do is just basically bring your knees in front of you and then turn. You have to like place the bolster on the other side. So again, now this time around, it's your left hip and your knees are in front of you. Your feet are stacked. And you're going to bring your hands over your head. You're going to twist the torso, not twist, but torso is going to face the bolster. Hands are going to go in between your support. You're going to elongate your spine. And you're going to slowly, still keeping your spine long, you're going to come down. Rest onto the right side of your temple this time. And when you do, when you are here, just let the legs rest over each other. So let the right leg rest over your left. But notice the difference. I always like to say that I notice the difference between the left and the right side of your body. So relax your shoulders. Just let your torso melt into the support. Imagine being a blanket. So you're just melting into, let's say, What's a good example of visualization of being a blanket? A blanket resting over your loved one. You're just melting over them. You may close the eyes here, nothing to do. Maybe just move intentionally the belly button closer onto the bolster, or even imagine and do this muscle action without having to move of like moving the or lifting the belly button towards the left part of to fully engage in this twist. Just take note on how you feel at this very exact moment. What's one word that can describe how you feel? Hands come down, place it between the bolster. Ready to push away from your support. Felt so good. You could just be there, right? Slowly turn. And now we are going to use our blanket here as some support. I want us to come back into that child's pose, but with the blanket in between the calves and the thigh, or the thighs. So just you notice more of an intentional support in that area if you always have a difficult time coming into child's pose. So here's how it's going to look. So you'll just remove the bolster, remove the pillows, or if you had like two pillows, just place them off. And oh, my dog's on the blanket. Sorry, doggy. Roll over, roll over. So what it'll look like is, I know. This is just a yoga blanket, but you could use a towel too if you have a towel. And all you're gonna do is just roll it. So if you have your towel long ways, maybe just give it one fold and then just roll it. So if it's a rectangle, right, just fold it. Hopefully this won't be too much. Actually, that's too much. With the towel, it'll be less. So here the blanket's a little thicker, so I'm gonna actually go long ways and fold it into a long, I always like to say asparagus. So you're going to kneel. You're gonna place that rolled blanket, I would say, right underneath the calves. So when you go down, I'm sorry, on the, like right at the end of the calves and the getting closer to the, not close to the ankle, but in that area. Now here, what you're going to do is, hopefully you don't have a doggy right in front of you, but you're going to bring your knees out, right? You're going to display your knees out. You're not going to open your knees as wide as your mat. because as you continue your practice over the years, you're not only are you putting more pressure in the lower back, but if you're hyper flexible, that's something that you want to avoid. Something I learned from my teacher, because you're not always going to have that elasticity as you age. So, and this is where the ego come into our yoga practice. We want to do more, and you want to do less, and it teaches us to be humble. So bring your knees a little wider than your hips. Now bring your hands right in front of you. Now you might have to adjust. So you look back at me like, what are you doing? You're going to reach your hands right in front of you. And then again, now you may even rest closer. The sit bones or the glutes closer onto that support. And then all you're going to do is rest onto your forehead. Now, when you do, that marbles, she's always barking at something. Now, when you do, I want you to really try to feel yourself get long, even here. So, what you'll do is you're going to walk the fingertips a tiny bit forward. That'll really lengthen through the shoulder blades, the upper back. And then you're going to maybe even elongate through the neck and then place the forehead back down. So you'll have to lift and then adjust. And then imagine the shoulder blades being drawn down. Now notice the difference that you're feeling in the calf area, or like, normally when you come all the way down, you feel a little bit of pressure, but here you're lifted. So there's less pressure on the ribs, possibly. Take a big inhale. Exhale, look up at your hands. And then inhale, come back. And now you'll come into a tabletop. Remove your blanket out of the way. If you need extra support underneath the knees, you may even have to place the blanket back underneath the knees. I'll just do that just for funsies. And what we'll do is we'll do a couple of cat-cows, and then we'll do some tiny movement. We'll do a variation of what I like to do with the child's pose and downward facing dog, but we'll do a variation of that. So on your inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, look towards your belly button, round your spine. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale here. Exhale. One last cycle. So inhale. Exhale. Inhale into a flat back. So it'll be very mindful as we do this. Just watch me here first. So you're going to child's pose. And then instead of a downward facing dog, we'll just bring our hands forward. And then the trunk stays aligned with the arms. And then you're just going to press the sit bones back. The arms won't stay where they were. And then you'll come back. It's like tabletop. Puppy pose. Child's pose. And then continue to do it. You might even have to curl the toes if you need that extra support. Being in this puppy pose is very active. Hopefully I'm not getting the name wrong because I always call it a modified modified downward facing dog. Because you're not really dumping, and the low and the upper ribs aren't like opening here. You're keeping those ribs active in, and then the head aligned as well. And then just stay here for a second in child's pose. Relax the forearms. You can bring them down. If the forehead reaches, you may even place it on your mat. Slowly come back up. Notice how your spine feels. So have a neutral spine. Adjust the hands over the shoulders, knees over the hips. Good. We're going to throw in our face yoga practice here in the very middle. Just some very simple things that we're going to do. Because we did a lot. We did something on the forehead and on the temple. So we're just going to release in these areas. So what you'll do is you'll face the camera or face the computer. And I'll come a little closer actually. Before we come into Shavasana. Just a little resting.